Hello, 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 hello. This is Gudmund. Welcome back, or welcome to the channel. Tonight we are going to be reading The 12 Dancing Princesses by Alison J. So, anyways, let's get to it. Alexa, can you help me turn the pages? Yeah, I can. Right. The 12 Dancing Princesses, illustrated by Alison J. Adapted by Alison Ritchie. Little B Books. Look at that. Long, long ago, there were 12 beautiful princesses. They did everything together and were full of joy. But they hid a mysterious secret. They hid a mysterious secret. I kind of like the kind of looks like a painting in the back. It's cracking. Each night they slept in a long bedchamber, their 12 beds lined up in 2 neat rows. Although the door to their room was locked tight, every morning their satin shoes were worn, with holes as though they had been danced in all night. When the princess's father, the king, asked what they had been doing, they always gave the same answer. They had been asleep, of course. Funny looking fella. The king was determined to discover the truth. He announced all in the land that whoever could solve the riddle of the worn-out shoes could claim one of the princesses as the bride. I don't really like that. But after 3 days and 3 nights they failed in the task. They would be banished forever. The news spread far and wide. In no time, a prince came to the palace, and the king welcomed him. The prince was confident and clever, and the king was sure he would find out the princess's secret. I presume it's that person right there. Look at that dog right there. It's got a pointy nose. In the evening, the prince was taken to a chamber right next to the one where the 12 princesses slept. No one could leave or enter the princess's room without being seen by the prince. The prince took a sip from the goblet of wine the youngest princess had brought him. By sunrise he said to himself, "I will know the secret, and I shall choose myself a princess to make my queen." As the moon rose, he steeled himself for the night ahead. But before long the prince fell into a deep sleep. When he awoke in the morning, he saw that the soles of the princess's shoes were full of holes, just as if they had been danced in. The prince was dismayed. How could he have been so careless as to fall asleep? On the second night, he was even more determined, and he sat up watching and waiting. But the same thing happened. After the 3rd night, the prince admitted he had failed, and the king banished him from the land. Thereafter, several princesses spent the night in the palace chamber, but none could uncover the secret of the worn-out shoes. One day, many months later, an old wounded soldier passed through the kingdom. He too was heading for the palace to discover the secret of the worn-out shoes. Along the way, he met a wise woman. "A word of advice, brave soldier," she said. "When you are brought goblet of wine in the evening. Do not drink a single drop. Pretend to drink it and pretend to fall asleep. Then the woman handed the soldier a cloak. Wear this and you'll become invisible. You'll be able to follow the princesses wherever they go. The soldier was welcomed into the palace, and in the evening he was led to his bedchamber. Just as the wise woman had predicted, he was brought a goblet of wine. But he did not drink a single drop. Then he lay down on the bed and began to snore very loudly, as if he had fallen fast asleep. Interesting. There's a dog right there. God. Oh my goodness, look how pointy those shoes are right there. Right there. See that? Those pointy shoes. Looks like they're dancing or something. Upon hearing his snores, the princesses leapt out of the bed. They skipped, swirled, and sang as they pulled their ball gowns from the big oak chest. They dressed, admired their reflections, and tied ribbons in their hair. All were eager for the night to begin. The eldest princess laughed. "We will fool the soldier just like we fooled the prince," says. But the youngest princess was not so sure. "I'm worried," she said. "Something feels wrong tonight." "There's no need to be afraid," the eldest princess reassured her. "Listen to the soldier snoring. Come on, sisters, make haste." And the eldest princess danced across the chamber to prepare. When all the princesses were ready, the eldest clapped her hands 3 times. At this command, her bed sank into the floor, and a trapdoor flew open to reveal a secret staircase. "Let's go," she said. The soldier watched as the princesses disappeared one by one down the stairs. Then he put on the invisibility cloak, quickly crept after them. In his haste, he trod on the dress of the youngest princess. "Uh-oh." She cried out to her sisters, "Someone has grabbed hold of my dress." "You silly thing," chuckled the eldest. "You're imagining it." At the bottom of the staircase was a forest of silver trees. The soldier broke off a little branch as a keepsake. "Did you hear that?" gasped the youngest princess. But the eldest laughed and said, "It's only our princes calling out for us." Soon they came to another forest of trees with leaves shimmering gold, and then to a third which sparkled diamonds. The soldier snapped a branch from each, and the younger sister shook with fear. "Don't be afraid," said the eldest. "It is only our princess who are crying for joy." Before long they came to a great lake. On the shore were 12 little boats with 12 handsome princes in them. Each princess hopped into one of the boats to join their prince. The soldier stepped into the boat with the youngest princess. "The boat feels heavy tonight," grumbled the prince as he struggled to row over the water. Across the lake stood a magnificent castle, from which came the sound of beautiful music. All night long the princesses danced with their princes, and the invisible soldier danced with them. He was enchanted by the grace and beauty of each and every princess. But the one he admired the most was the eldest. As she twisted and twirled, her eyes twinkled. It was clear that she loved dancing more than anything in the world. "I like dancing too." Anyways. After the princesses had danced until their shoes were worn to shreds, the princes rowed them back over the lake. This time the soldier sat in the same boat as the eldest princess, the one with the sparkling eyes. On the opposite shore, the princesses jumped out of the boats and soldiers raced on ahead. Through the forest of diamonds and gold and silver, he ran up the stairs, through the trapdoor, and into his chamber. Like, look at all those footprints. Oh my goodness, is that a bear right there? And a moose? Kind of stubby looking. They kind of look like you. No, they don't. I'm not stubby. Anyways. When the princesses returned, the soldier was snoring loudly. "You see, we're perfectly safe," said the eldest. The next morning, the soldier resolved not to tell the king. He was eager to join the princesses once more on the curious adventure. He followed them that evening, and the evening after that. Together they danced through the night as the moon shone bright over the shimmering lake. After the third night, the soldier knew he must reveal all, or he would be banished forever from the land. Look at that. The next morning the soldier was brought before the king. The 12 princesses listened at the door as he told their father all that had happened and presented 3 glittering branches. The king called for the princesses, asked them if the soldier spoke the truth. When they saw the secret was out, the eldest daughter bravely stepped forward and confessed it all. The soldier chose the eldest princess as his wife, for she was the boldest and most courageous in her eyes, and her eyes twinkled like jewels. They were married that very day. Everyone danced and danced, and at the wedding until all the shoes in the kingdom quite worn out. So, what about the prince that she was dancing with in the forest? Like, I don't know. Anyways. Alrighty, well, that looks like it's it for this book. Interesting book, yeah. The ending part, it was good, Anyways. Alrighty, well, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you liked the book, the 12 dancing princesses. Alrighty, well, have a good day, good night, and we will see you in the next one. Goodbye.